Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. All right, so the Olympics have come to a close, but we are still celebrating the out and proud athletes who competed. Timothy LeDuc became the first openly non-binary athlete to qualify for the Olympics, and the pair skater made us proud alongside their partner, Ashley Cain-Gribble, and I'm so excited to be chatting with the two of them right now. How are you?
Hi, we're so happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
So wait, are we, it looks like we're in like practice training mode. Was that what's happening?
Yes. Yeah, we just got
we?
off the ice here in Dallas.
So
Nice.
we still have the World Championships coming up. So we just got home, but we're still in training mode.
Oh, I love that. Like from one thing to the next.
Yep.
But let's talk about the Olympics. I think what an experience. You know, it's been couple days, couple weeks since it all wrapped up. How are you feeling about it? Because we loved seeing the two of you, you know, up there, and we were, you know, cheering for you the whole way.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say it was both a very joyous experience and also a very complex experience. You know, there's a lot of emotions involved. We were there a really long time, so the experience of basically training at a competition was really new for us. But everything about being in the Olympic venues, experiencing everything that it is to be an Olympian was it would say a dream come true.
Yeah, and it was interesting too, because Timothy mentioned that we were there for so long. We started to feel like it was really normal. And I think there was moments where I had to be like, no, this isn't normal. Like, you're at the Olympics, you're living the dream that you've worked so hard for. But it was also nice to feel a little bit of that normalcy on such a big stage. And I think since we've been back, it's just kind of about like managing those emotions and all of the energy that went into that, because so much of our focus for a long time was just the Olympics, even to a point where like people would ask us where the World Championships were going to be, and we were like, I don't know. Like I can't even think that far ahead. So but it's nice to be able to like come back home and be with our team, and to just like to be able to talk about all the experiences. It's been amazing.
Oh, that's so great. I know, and you mentioned that world stage to be on, and I know, Timothy, there was so much attention. I mean, it's wonderful, but it's also a lot of pressure. I mean, people have so many questions, but there was so much attention over you, like I said, being the first openly non-binary athlete to qualify for the Olympics. You know, curious, how did you handle that? I mean, and what was it like to have, you know, the world kind of just wanting to know so much about you?
Yeah, I think that's maybe part of what made the experience so complex, was trying to remain authentic to me and remember I'm there as an athlete, I'm there to compete, I'm there to fulfill this dream that I've had for the last 20 years, but also try to take the time to make space to be visible, to, you know, be a beacon, to try to just spread authenticity. That's something that Ashley and I have always tried to do in our partnership, is to lead with authenticity. So I don't know, it was really difficult at times, seeing some of the criticism. And there was a situation where we had one of the coaches at Olympics make really terrible comments about me. So just trying to stay out of that and stay focused on what was happening on the ice made the experience a little bit complex. But I don't know, I'm really fortunate to have such awesome people around me and such amazing allies like Ashley. So that kind of helped, you know, make everything work.
And I think, you know, for me being their partner, I was there to support them in any way that they wanted me to be, and to also be that support system when they felt like they couldn't really stand up for themselves. But for me, on not the sidelines, but as your partner, it was like nice to see the world seeing you and the way that I see you every single day. Finally, they were introduced to you and to this journey that you're on.
You know, Timothy, you mentioned that coach. You know, how would you say the current state of affairs is for an LGBTQ athlete, skater or beyond, especially for you, you know, being open with being non-binary? Do you feel that overall it's an accepting place, or do you think that there are still a lot of conversations and progress that need to happen?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, I will give credit where credit is due. I think that figure skating and sport has made progress. You know, we can see even just in the last 10 years, the progress that has been made. But, you know, I still had a really difficult time navigating sport as a queer person, especially a very gendered sport like figure skating. So in no way is the work done. I think there's still a lot of things that need to be done, especially the way that I would say the IOC and ISU handled the situation with the coach and the comments that he made. There was no response from the IOC, no response from the ISU, which sends a message to queer athletes that they are not here to protect us, and also sends a message to those that agree with that coach that we can make these kind of comments and we're not going to get punished. So, those are ways that like we can still improve things for skaters, and still help skaters that exist outside of the binary be able to thrive in sports, especially gendered sports. I'm really hopeful though, I'm hoping that the athletes that we saw in the summer games and then me in the winter games being open and leading with authenticity, hoping that starts to make more space and to start more conversations.
Ashley, you mentioned kind of being, you sit on the sidelines, but you were alongside them the whole way. What has it been like for you to see Timothy, really just come into this authentic version of themselves and feel just compelled to want to like share their true, authentic, life with everyone?
Mm-hmm. Our whole partnership has been about being open. And I think for both of us, when we got together, we didn't quite obviously know yet what journeys we would go on as individuals, but we've been very open with each other about we can allow each other to come to each other and not feel judged, be able to say and feel how we are. And we've always had that openness. And I think it was it about a year ago or more that you like came to me and we had the conversation for the first time? And it just felt like finally we were laying everything out in front of each other to just be like, hey, this is where I'm at. At points I might need my space to just grow, but this is where I'm at and I'm going to be here and show up every single day. And, with everything that I've been through with my body, Timothy's been very open and patient with me. And I think that that's how I am with them. We just have this patience for each other. And, it was a beautiful experience to be able to step out on the ice at something as big of an Olympic Games and know that my partner was able to be authentically 100% themselves. And I don't want to speak for you in saying that you were completely open and honest and authentic to yourself, but it felt that way, and I think that came through in our skating as well.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned as well, like your struggle with your body and everything that you've been through, and like all of the body shaming and the criticism that you faced, because I think that's something that brings Ashley and I closer together and also makes us such a special team, is we both have parts of ourselves that have been rejected or that other people have said like, no, you don't belong for this reason, but we both have overcome them together. And I think that's like, it's what makes us a really unique team. And I hope when people watch us skate, they see that, we lead with authenticity and hopefully we give strength to other people to do the same.
Absolutely. Stronger together. I love that.
Yeah.
Timothy, our friend Jonathan Van Ness, I know when I spoke to Jonathan last time, they were very excited for you. They thought you were fabulous and, all of the good things. But I remember when I spoke to Jonathan, they had such great things to say about their journey to understanding their own non-binary identity, and when pieces just clicked and it just made more sense for them. Tell me a little bit about that for you and how you were able to kind of just get to that point.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And it's also a very complex answer. There's no simple answer to that question. I would say that it's an experience from the first memories that I have. I remember having difficulty fitting into the binary and fitting into this expectation of masculinity and manhood that was really pushed on me. So I came from a very Christian conservative background. And one of my earliest memories at church was putting on a sparkly headband that one of the girls had given me. And I was so excited about this sparkly headband. It made my day. And one of the Sunday school teachers snatched it off my head and said, boys don't wear things like that. And so many things like that happened along my journey that showed me, oh wait, these are the things I need to do to fit in. These are the things I need to do to be safe, to be taken seriously, or to be successful. So I was always really at odds with this sort of framework of masculinity. And then finally, later on in my 20s, when I began to know more queer people, when I learned the vocabulary, began to understand the gender binary being sort of, excuse me, that there being other options outside of the gender binary, I was like, oh my gosh, it totally makes sense. I've always been at odds with this expectation of masculinity. Finally, I have the vocabulary and the support to exist outside of that. And then from then on, it was just learning more and more and more, making more and more connections with awesome queer people, and just kind of insisting on authenticity from that point forward.
I think as well, it's been a little bit on levels too, because you started with coming to our team, like our close team, and you had this open conversation, and we've all been, trying to educate ourselves. Also, I've been trying to ask questions, but also educating myself, making sure that I'm not just putting it all on them to make me understand, but also to like be doing my own. But then I feel like it's gone out in levels of us going out into the skating world, making sure that people are using the correct pronouns, respecting. And I feel like at Olympics as well, it just has gone in these levels of people finding the understanding and that as well. So it's been like being by your side, just seeing you go through that journey of you standing up for yourself every single time we go.
Slowly and surely.
Just seeing you stand up for yourself in a way that like you're respecting yourself.
I love that, as true ally. But Ashley, that's a good question, for this. And I love that you said that it's not just about Timothy telling you, it's about you learning and doing your own homework. What has that been like for you to kind of really learn so much more about being non-binary, the queer community in general? What has that been like for you?
Yeah, I think it's really important as allies that we stand up and we support not only when the person is in the room or we are around them, but also when they're not in the room and they can't stand up for themselves, or they feel like they are in situations where they can't speak up, and I can. So I'm just making sure that I take it upon myself, and I hope that all allies will, because it's very important. And for me, it just started with questions, and I think I also went to you and I was like, is it okay that I'm like asking these? And you said, yeah, because I'm also understanding it myself. I'm trying to go through these questions myself. So it opened up a whole nother line of communication of being like, I might not know this yet, but I want to, and just being open. And also I think as well, it just comes from a respect. Like when people say it's so hard to remember somebody's pronouns or this or that, it's like, but you need to respect the person, and stand up for them. And that's from where I come from. And I think, like I said, it's just very important for allies to be that voice for the people in the room when they feel like they can't be.
Very well said. Timothy, thinking about the current state of affairs for, we were talking about the world, but for LGBTQ kids across the country, we're under such a moment of attack. Rights are being peeled back. I think this moment with trans kids in sports especially, and then just so many states really just limiting LGBTQ youth rights in general. What is it like for you to see all that? I'm curious, with your home state, like, are you kind of following along with what's happening there?
Yeah, it's really hard to watch. The situation here in Texas, also in Florida and other states. I'm hopeful that, my presence in the Olympics was a source of encouragement and positivity for people who are also watching what is happening and who are also, going to be under attack in the states where this legislation is going through. When I see stuff like this, it's really easy for me to get really, really negative and really like beat down by it. I also try to think of the progress that we've made in the last 5 to 10 years. And for each step forward, I know there's going to be a step back and there's going to be a pushback. And I think that the people that are very threatened by us queer people are working really hard to shut us down right now. And it's because we are stronger together. It's because they see us coming together, living with authenticity, insisting on taking up space, and they're very threatened by that. So, I just try to focus on the progress that we've made and the progress we're going to continue to make, and try to stay in and frame it in a positive way. And remember that we all just need to stay together, stay positive, stay connected, because we outnumber those that are trying to take us down.
Very well said. And I think it's such an important time to, like, as we're doing now, draw awareness. And, how would you say that we can, support LGBTQ athletes when it comes to this? Because I do think that we're in this moment of change, but still so many conversations need to be had.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my hope is that for the athletes that are, for the queer athletes that are, participating in sport right now and that are having trouble making space for themselves, I'm hopeful that myself and others, I'm one of many queer athletes that are being open and visible. I'm hopeful that we're a source of inspiration for them. I'm hopeful also that Ashley and I both are helping the allies to also step up, because, the queer athletes can't just do it themselves. It's really important that the other people in their spaces, in their support systems, are also doing the work to make space and to make their experiences better in sports. So, hopefully this is something that we all can do together. We all have a part to play, even if it's just as simple as respecting somebody's pronouns and using them properly, or doing the things to make space. Like Ashley said, showing up for them when they're not in the room is a really great way that you can be supportive and be an ally. So yeah, we all have a part to play when it comes to moving LGBT equity forward.
Love that. The two of you are a dynamic duo. So wait, let's talk. Wait, so is it World Championships that you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. When is that? Because I can't wait to it's something that we can watch on TV, right? I want to see that what you all come up with.
Yeah.
I think maybe March 19th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be in France. So we're excited.
So you're in Texas now, you get to go to France. What's the game plan? Do you have any routines you want to let me in on, or is that top secret?
Well, it's going to be the same 2 routines that we did at Olympics, because we do those same 2 routines all season.
Got it.
So those will be the same, but we do have a new show number in the works. And normally there's a gala at the end of the World Championship. So hopefully we'll get to be a part of that and show it.
It's very fun.
It's really fun.
Flashy. Yeah.
I love that. That sounds good. I can't wait to see all those photos. And gotta ask, do we think there's another Olympics in store? I know it's like when people finish one thing, they're like, what about the next one? But what do you think?
Right. You know what? We haven't even finished this season. We haven't even had a chance to breathe yet. So check back in a little while. We're just going to finish this season out and then take a second and breathe and then kind of see what's next.
TBD. Okay. Well, at least we can have the March 19th World Championships to look forward to. Best of luck to both of you. It's so nice to chat with you. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank
we appreciate
you.
it.